British summertime has ended, which means there's even less light in the evenings to do anything. I was spending most of the day sorting out the shed and reskinning that, which means I haven't had a chance to plant anything. So here we are, this time of night. Luckily, we have got the floodlights, so we can get on with it. So what I want to do today is I want to plant up some broad beans, plant up some more lettuce, and also it's the wrong time of the year for it. I'm going to be planting up some old cabbage and kale seeds. Why do that, you ask? Well, we can either use them for microgreens, or I want to do a bit of a compost trial in the new brassica cage with some old compost, well, some shop bought compost against the compost that's supplied by a local firm. They bring it in like a big dumpy bags and stuff like that, and it seems to have performed quite well. So I want to see whether that's just down to the fact that it's all new and the beds are all new, or whether it's that particular compost is particularly good. So we're going to sort of, in the brassica cage when we finished it, is we're going to parallel plant the same plants in each bed, one with the normal compost, one with the shop bought compost, and from that we're going to see which one performs better and if there's any notable difference. So let's give these a good soaking, because that compost has been sitting in there for quite a while and it's quite dry. So let's go and get some seeds. So let's have a look. So we have, now there's no guarantee with any of these seeds because I'm pretty sure they're all past their sell-by date, these by quite a margin. These are broad beans, and there's something Sutton. Let's have a look. The Sutton, they're called. So just wait a few minutes while that composter soaks up. Then in this side, we're going to plant some broccoli. What we've got here, some kale, some Swiss chard, and some cabbage, some greyhound cabbage, and some callibok cabbage as well. As I say, they don't come to much. We might be able to just harvest them. There's microgreens. I mean, let's be honest, there's a chance of this kale germinating, and we shall see, is ridiculous, because this packet is a really old packet. So I've been digging through all the old packets basically. This one says 2013. 9 years old. Will it germinate? Who knows? We shall soon see. And the other thing we're going to do is plant another set of salad leaves. So this compost looks quite wet. So let's just give it a few minutes. Let's get some of these beans in. So we're going to start all the beans off together, and then once they've got to a point where they can actually, they've got their first true leaves and they're ready to transplant, that's when we'll put them out into the different compost. So these are beans, they're sort of brown ones. Again, whether they're germinate or not, I don't know. So that's why I want to sow them in batches now. I'm going to sow them in batches now so that I can be sure which ones have germinated, and it's not old seed or bad seed that's caused them to actually not germinate. So we're going to sow a whole tray of these. Okie doke. So probably a bit vigorous with the water in there because this compost is quite wet. So once we've got these in, we'll put it over on the side to help it drain out a bit. I'll put these down in. Some of these are quite small, but we shall see if any of them germinate or not. And that's a lot, so we're short on a few there. Let's just chop just that over with a bit of dry compost. That should help soak up a little bit of the over exuberant watering. So that's that one there. Remember to label it up in a minute. So get me towel. I always keep an old towel here just for this sort of purpose. So that is raw beans. Let's put that over by the tray so we don't forget which is what's what. Right. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different packets, which is perfect because we've got 5 different rows. So let's just put that down there a second. Just pour some of this excess soil and water away. Just drain that off a bit. Right, so let's go and get the new dibber. The new dibber we made the other day. So let's just put a little bit of a dent in some of these. So these seeds have got very little hope of germinating. They're really old. And I seem to have absolutely saturated the compost here. But hopefully that will dry out a little bit in the polytunnel over the next few days. Right, let's start off. Let's get some labels first. Right, first thing we're going to sell is kale. We'll put the varieties on here another time. Kale, 30th October. So let's have that rose kale. We got, okay, let's do those ones first. As I say, these are, we'll go through the dates on these. 2013. Germinate, not germinate. Put your bets down and come back in a few weeks and we'll check out whether, so it's a double trial really. One is to get some stuff ready for the composting, and the other one is to see if these will germinate. Right, there's a few, they're quite small seeds, so we'll multi-sow because we have got no idea. So we'll put about, try and put about 5 or 6 in each cell because we're not really sure how viable these are. So that's those done. Okay, so let's put those in there. Those down for there for now, so we can double soak. So the next thing we're going to do is broccoli Montana F1. Okay, put that in there. Again, this packet, these are obviously some old stuff when we were buying loads and loads of seed in a year where we didn't get around to growing half as much as we like. This is a sealed packet. Again, December 2013. Will it germinate? I very much doubt it, but we'll give it a try. They really should. Come on, open up. Again. How many seeds were in this packet? Not many. So we'll try and put not quite as many seeds in this one. So we'll try and just space them out across the modules. And I think we put about 2 or 3 in each module. Okay, next one. Oop, losing the packets already. The next one is some Swiss chard. So get that in there. Swiss chard. Bright lights. This is a packet from, it says sow by June 2013. So a little bit late, but who knows? So if you're interested to know whether the sell by, if you like, the sow by date on packets really should be adhered to, subscribe and come back in a couple of weeks' time, and we shall find out whether we've got an empty tray of nothing. So we put about 3 in each, just to, as I say, we're sort of over sowing these a little bit because we know they're not particularly viable. So this is cabbage ground, was it? Greyhound. Spell, Steve, spell. Okay. And this packet is, oh, we're pushing it by now. It says sow by June 2016. So not many in here, so we obviously use quite a few of these. So we'll spread these out across the cells. We've probably got enough for 3 or 4 maybe in each cell. Or maybe a few more. We'll just get them all in there. Okay, that's that one. And the last one for this batch is going to be cabbage again. And this is the Calibos. Again, I remember when we sowed these, they were really nice. Oh, this is really pushing our luck. Again, sow by June 2011. So essentially this year we've been trying to get a bit more organised. We had like boxes and boxes of seeds where we bought seeds for what we wanted to sow that year, and all the old seed packs have been left in the bottom. So what I've done this year is I've invested in one of these tray boxes for all the seeds that a lot of people like to use. And consequently, that means that I've ended up with a whole host of seeds that are ancient. Right, so we're gonna, as these are so old, we are gonna heavily multi-sow these. So there's probably, I don't know, probably about 10 seeds in each one. I don't know, 1 in 10 maybe alive. I don't know, still viable. Right, this compost is now a little bit more damp because we tipped all that water in there. So let's give it a quick sprinkle over the top. Sprinkle, not a clod. Right, they're not going to need another watering because it is quite. This compost was a little bit too damp anyway, but which, hey, let's be honest, they're old seeds, and when we sowed them, I made the compost a bit too wet, so they literally have very little chance of germinating. But we shall see. So those will go back into the polytunnel in a minute, along with the broad beans. And in the meantime, what we want to do is get a few more greens on the go. So let's have a look. Let's get that reasonably level. Again, covered in muck. Let's use the old towel. So in here we've got various different things. We are going to use these, which is an Urban Garden Collection salad leaves colourful mild mix. I love rocket mustards and all that. Mrs. C likes a plainer leaf, so we're gonna sow some of these. Let's there we go. So we're going to just sprinkle these in, not in any particular order. We know this compost is reasonably good stuff, and it's not got any weeds or anything, seeds in it. This isn't, it's been sieved and everything else. It's been sat in there in that bucket for a little while, so we know it's reasonably sterile. So anything that sprouts in here, we know will be a lettuce, not a awesome salad leaves. So let's just give that's a big clod of mud. So give that a thing, and then let's give that a quick douse over with water. And that's tonight's sowing. So it is actually 9:20 in the evening, so we shall see how all these do and check back in. Time for me to pack up, put these in the polytunnel, and head off back home. Catch you again soon.